What's up everybody, it's the Sports Code aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be about 3 ways to fix Manchester United, 3 ways that we can be a greater club again. There are obviously some inside issues with the club that, just based on positivity around the club, has not been really addressed or even written about. No real media coverage on it whatsoever. But there are just 3 ways to fix Manchester United, or just make them a better team altogether. Now, before I get started, this is not going to be necessarily about the players. I can make videos all day about which players to bring in, which players to sell, which players should be at Manchester United, new contracts, all of that. I'm talking about the actual structure of the club. There are 3 easy ways that Manchester United could become better, more stable, quicker with transfers, etc. There are many ways we could become a more efficient Manchester United, but I'm only going to give just 3 in this episode because I feel like these 3 are the most important steps to follow. Clearly, the structure of this club has been very outdated, and we need to modernize it as quickly as possible. Now, this is not video about disrespecting Manchester United. Of course, they're an elite business. They know what they're doing, but there are things that we can improve on. There are things that the fans know that can help us improve, and I feel like all together, if we can work together as a club, as fans, as players, as coaches, whatsoever, everything, we can end up becoming a much better Manchester United. And that's what we all are at the end of the day, united. So please like, subscribe, and let me know the steps that you would want Manchester United to follow in order to become a better Manchester United. Also, let me know if everything is fine. If you guys think that Manchester United are fine exactly where they are, because of course I don't know everything. I don't know the complete utter inside details about Manchester United. There are certain things I'll just not know, and there are certain things that are pretty well known out there, and that's what I want to address. So without further ado, let's get to the very first. Number 1, the very first thing I will do, very first step to follow as a Manchester United club, I would add or replace the coaching staff. Now, the reason why I say add is because I definitely feel like Michael Carrick, McKenna, and all of them can definitely do a job at Manchester United as a coach. However, I feel like we definitely need more experience in the coaching area. I say this with the Bulls a lot of the time as well. Having an inexperienced coach with inexperienced players can be very drastic and very inconsistent towards teams. The coaching staff at Manchester United is no different to me. Having inexperienced players, in which a lot of our players are, having an inexperienced coach, in which we have a youth coach that's making his way up into first team coaching, which at the end of the day is perfectly fine. And you have Michael Carrick, who's one of the most intelligent midfielders, but however, coaching as a whole is very inexperienced. It's an inexperience towards them. So we should add more experienced coaching towards our ranks. Not only will this help probably increase the productivity in training, but can also help us learn new things on the pitch that at the end of the day, we probably would need when it comes to later down in the season, where teams read us, teams understand our play, new coaching methods, new training methods, new player developments can honestly help us become unique throughout the season, change and adapt to our style, not to anybody else's, the way that we play. And that's good. That's perfect for Manchester United. Having more than one style of play is genuinely the best thing Manchester United could ask for. Because yes, we're very good on the counter-attack, but we don't necessarily have a plan B. And I think that's exactly what we need. We need a plan B. We need a plan C. We need a plan from A to Z. We need things that can go our way constantly, and I think more coaching would be ideal here. Who are the coaching staff? To be honest, I'll leave that up to Manchester United. They would have more say over the coaches than anybody really. We can all just say, oh, this coach and this coach. Any experienced coach for me that's done it at the top level would be very, very ideal. Manchester United would definitely have more value towards that, and I think the players would very much benefit from this as well. Step number two, very simple. Sort out the scouting staff. Whether it's Manchester United have been known to have many scouts. However, it seems like moving abroad from England has been a struggle for the past 2 years since Ollie's been on board. And I understand that having Premier League talent is sort of the way that we do things at Manchester United. We take the best players from the lower ranked teams, establish them into Manchester United, and then we develop the best team. I understand that, but there are certain players, especially in this modern day, that are abroad, that are in Spain, in Italy, in Germany, even in the lower ranks of France and the above ranks of France. There are constant players that could do a job at Manchester United that we just don't seem to be linked to or looking at. And whatever the case may be, we're focusing on much more expensive English talent that might not be better than players abroad. And at the end of the day, we need to fix that. The scouting staff, whether they're not being listened to or whether their opinions on the players that we go for have just been pure, just terrible things to say, or things, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about the scouting. If they're just not being listened to, at the end of the day, there's the reason for that. Their scouting clearly must not be good enough, or they're not seeking what Ollie wants. And if Ollie wants a specific player, we can try and find those players abroad for cheaper. That's the message I'm trying to get across here. So the scouting staff, I definitely think we need to have a much more variety of scouts, much more than just looking in the Prem, or than looking at obvious signings like Bruno Fernandes. Like, that was obvious for us, but we need more scouting, bringing up younger talent from other countries, not necessarily youth players, but 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds that can come into the team now and develop and also play in the first team. We need more of that. I feel like we could definitely get a hold of Manchester United with more younger talent from other countries. It doesn't have to be just England. Look at Declan Rice. Declan Rice, what? He's going to be 22 years old maybe? I don't know how old he's going to be. And he's being linked to a move for Manchester United for around 60 million or so. We can definitely get better than Declan Rice abroad for cheaper. That's just one example. I'm not being disrespectful to Declan Rice. I think he would be a great player at Manchester United. But 60 million, are you sure you want to spend that much in this market? I don't think so. I think there are others out there that could be just as good as Declan Rice. And the scouting needs to go and find those people. That's step number 2. That's in on itself would make Manchester United so much better. But there's no point in scouting. There's no point in hiring new coaches unless we get step number 3 sorted. And step number 3 is pure and simple: hire a director of football. That is step number 3. As far as we know, we have Ed Woodward as the leading man in all transfers. Of course, there are other people below him that help with the transfers. Ed Woodward himself quoted that there are people that are brilliant minds that are working on transfers, and he finds it very insulting to them, as well as Manchester United, that people do not like the way they do transfers. Now, all I have to say to that is, I definitely don't disagree that there are intelligent people doing the transfers. I wouldn't have a clue if they're intelligent or not. But what I do have a clue of is Manchester United take months to get a signing done. We go and barger and argue over price, and in the end, we lose out to a lot of teams because we do not make transfers quick and easy. We just badger and argue and complain about the price until we get them maybe 2 months later. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for example, a player we all knew was worth 50 million, right? Instead of paying the 50 million, we had to get 35 million, 30 million with 15 million add-ons. We have to discuss the add-ons, or maybe we can try and save 5 million here and there, so let's go and extend it another week. That's what we do. We don't see a transfer quick and easy. Bruno Fernandes took 2 transfer windows to do. So why should, as intelligent as they are, why should they be kept in a job of wasting valuable time that Manchester United could use to go and get more players? The quicker we do a transfer, the quicker we can go and look at another player. I don't believe that we're a money that's full on just like Arsenal's owners, or we don't spend a penny. Ain't nothing. We're going to spend one massive player, then that's it. and then we're going to spend 5-6 million on everybody else. I don't think Manchester United are like that. I think Manchester United have the funds. I think they're willing to spend the funds, but the fact is they just take way too long on transfers that we just can't get anything done. That's truly what I believe is happening. What would our director of football do if he's been put as head of transfers, head of football operations? We would get new coaching staff probably. We would probably get better scouts. The scouting would be pretty much in charge by the director of football. He can go and tell them to scout where, to go scout the type of player and all of this, and we could end up having more Manchester United quality players in here for a lot cheaper, which will save Manchester United money. And also, we would get better transfers. We'll probably get them done quickly as well. Even if we're just badgering on for 10 million for months on end, it'll probably be quicker than what we usually see with Harry Maguire, with Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, probably with Paul Pogba as well. I can't really remember that far back based on that, but there's been lots, and at the end of the day, we need to fix that. If we're going to become a team that's very efficient in the transfer window, we need to fix that. If we're going to become a team that's very efficient in training, very elite in training, we need to get better coaching. If we're going to become a team that's very elite in scouting, finding the best players in the best positions for a cheap price, we need better scouting. If all of these things were able to get done for Manchester United, there's no doubt in my mind that regarding which players are going to be playing for us in the future, we can get back to the top, because we're going to be elite off the pitch, which will help us become elite on the pitch. Ollie and all of the players, that's a topic for a different day. That topic is being discussed every day from every YouTube channel, every Manchester United interview. All of this. There's been so many rumours and news about on-the-pitch issues that Manchester United have. But I feel like it's just become extremely forgotten for many people how much off-the-pitch issues Manchester United do have. Whether it's being we don't know enough information on situations such as the coaching staff. We don't really know what the coaching staff does. We don't really know if they're good or not. We don't know. Or the scouting. We don't know much about the scouting, except we're looking at a lot of England players. Is that seriously all we're going to go for? Just England players? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be spending a lot of luxury money where you could find someone else that's probably just as good for cheaper. Not saying this about Sancho, of course, get Sancho in. That's besides that. I mean, and then you have a director of football, which will save us a lot of time, and it'll also save Ed Woodward a lot of hassle when he can go and focus on something that's been very good for him. Honestly, if you put Ed Woodward as the financial officer alone, financial advisor of Manchester United, he deals with all the finances, he gets all the advertisements, he gets the Adidas sponsorships, he gets the Chevrolet sponsorships, he gets all these commercials. If you leave Ed Woodward to do all of that, we're going to get richer and richer. I think Ed Woodward is pure elite at handling money and financing money. But on the pitch, I can't say he's bad at his job, but I could definitely say he's not good at it, because we've seen so many times failed signings, we're going for Galacticos instead of teams that would actually suit us. Wrong managers. There's been a lot that Ed Woodward has done that we have a lot of questioning for. And Ed Woodward, maybe on the pitch stuff, he's not the best at. But off the pitch, when it comes to the financial dealings of Manchester United, the guy's second to none. We cannot disregard that. I don't want Ed Woodward to get fired. I'd much rather him just handle the money of Manchester United. We can become richer off the pitch, and we can become elite on the pitch with a director of football, an experienced one. So those are the 3 steps that Manchester United would need to follow in order to become a more efficient Manchester United. A Manchester United that could be elite on the pitch and off the pitch. A Manchester United that could be feared on the pitch and off the pitch. Let me know if there are any other steps that Manchester United could follow. At the end of the day, this is not a video trying to absolutely shred Manchester United. In no way is this meant to be an attack. It's just some simple suggestions. They probably won't listen, because Manchester United, they are a very high class business. They will believe if they need a director of football, it's up to them, and no one else will change their mind. Whether that is something that's right or not, that's, again, I can't comment on that. But these are just suggestions that I believe, watching football for Manchester United for a very short period of time, but definitely during the period of time I've seen these issues arise. And these issues probably have been there since the Alex Ferguson days. But again, we were so elite that people don't recognize it. And it's kind of similar now. We're not really elite, but there's so much positivity with Bruno Fernandes coming in that it's just very questionable. We all tend to forget about it. But now it's time to really think, with all this time off, Manchester United could do so much during this time that can truly affect them on the pitch. Look what Chicago Bulls are doing. When there's no basketball going on, they end up getting a new general manager, potentially a new they're getting a new vice president of basketball operations. They're getting a new general manager, probably a new head coach. What can Manchester United do during this time that can help them become elite off the pitch as well as on the pitch? They have the time and they have the necessities to go and do something like that, but it's all about whether or not they're willing to do so. And hopefully Manchester United are, because at the end of the day, an elite Manchester United is a fun Manchester United, and we're all going to get back to the positivity that we once had in spades, and now we're only getting it with here and there, and that's not good enough as a Manchester United fan and as a club. And I'm sure they would agree with that. So I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know which steps that you agree with, which steps you disagree with, and also don't hesitate to mention steps that I may have mispast, or even add information to the steps that I've said. Of course, I don't know everything. This video is just things that I've seen through many, many years that we can improve on. Anyway, have a wonderful and safe day. Take care.